All right, first let's go to Florida, where we'll check in with Franco Ripple, Vice President of Communications for the Florida Young Democrats. Franco is at a polling place. Franco, you've been checking out the situation all day. We're hearing about long lines in Florida. Give us a sense of what's happening on the ground.
That's right, David. Hey, thanks for having me back on the show. So, Florida obviously is a pivotal state, 29 electoral votes at stake, and both sides are trying very hard to make everyone count. The latest calculus I'm sure you've seen on the venerable Nate Silver has it nearly deadlocked at, I think, 49.7 to each side. So it's really a ground game. What we're seeing here, I'm going to try to show you there's a pretty decent turnout over here at this precinct. This is on the east side of St. Petersburg, which is one of the main cities in Pinellas County, which is just across the bridge from Tampa and Hillsborough. It's part of the Tampa Bay area. We've seen consistent, steady lines here. Tampa, across the bridge, has had 3- and 4-hour lines. We're having reports of 3- to 4-hour lines all across the state, and that's following an early voting session, which was shortened this year to a week, but in which Democrats dominated and currently hold a 167,000 vote lead across the state.
Incredible. So anecdotally, here in Massachusetts, we're seeing, all of our staff is seeing bigger turnouts than we can ever remember at our respective polling places. Here it may be because of enthusiasm over Elizabeth Warren and the opportunity to get Scott Brown out of office. Are you seeing, how does this compare with past elections? Is this unusually high turnout?
Well, it's incredible, actually, because, everyone has said that there's going to be this enthusiasm gap, both for reelecting the president here, as we did in 2008, and on Mitt Romney's side, still struggling to win over a lot of core conservatives. That's actually not happening on either side, because there's record-breaking absentee ballot requests, there's record-breaking early vote turnout, and it's projected that in a lot of counties and a lot of precincts, you're going to see record-breaking turnout at the polls themselves. So really, there doesn't seem to be an enthusiasm gap, but one thing that's really buoying the confidence of Democrats is that we're going in with a pretty phenomenal lead of that 167,000 votes. I will tell you, speaking of anecdotes, one concerning thing here in Pinellas County, the supervisor of elections, which is a Republican, did send out a robocall either last night or this morning, letting voters know to vote tomorrow. So it went out this morning.
You've got to be kidding me.
It was indicating that, and nobody knows the universe of people that received this call, but it was at least in the hundreds of voters, if not the thousands, we believe, that were told to vote by 7 p.m. tomorrow. So the Obama campaign has been doing its job, alerting the media and trying to make sure that that is in fact corrected, and everybody knows, be in line by 7 p.m. today, election day, to make your vote count.
Hey, is it possible that it was that it was intended to go out before midnight yesterday, meaning tomorrow would have been today, the actual election day, and some of those voters simply got it after midnight, kind of implying tomorrow means Wednesday? Is that possible?
It's hard to say. I can't speculate, what the supervisor of elections office was trying to do. I know I received today a robocall from the supervisor of elections office reminding me to turn in my absentee ballot, which I haven't had a chance to do yet. So there are legitimate robocalls going out, but obviously this has Democrats very concerned, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it. And this is on top of, it's not just Republican supervisors of elections that may be having some issues. It's happening in other counties too. Broward County has had reports of I think this gentleman said he just had a bad voting experience, so it could be terrible, he says. There are reports of broken machines and all kinds of irregularities happening all around the state. So it's going to remain close, not only because of turnout and ground game, but because of mistakes once again.
Unbelievable. Hey, last thing, Franco, we've been talking about the possible underestimation of the Latino vote. Now, Florida is the one state in the country that has a more conservative-leaning Latino vote because of the Cuban influence. But that being said, also speculation that non-Cuban Florida Hispanic Democrats may be underestimated. What's your sense of that, given your knowledge of Florida?
Well, I can tell you that the Democratic Party here in Florida has worked really hard at organizing the Hispanic vote, and that includes Cubans, because Barack Obama did win Miami-Dade County with, I believe it was 66% of the vote in 2008, and that's on the back of especially younger Cubans who are willing to give a Democrat a chance for the first time in a generation. So I think Cubans are going to surprise a lot of folks and still consider voting for this president pretty strongly. In other news, all across the state, it's the Puerto Rican community that is heavily Democratic and has been heavily organized by this party, including having a full-time Hispanic outreach coordinator to really get to those folks, and it's having an impact. Over in Orlando, there's a state house race, District 49, that is pitting a Puerto Rican Republican against a Democrat in a heavily Democratic district, and they're having some traction because of that. But it's Puerto Rican Democrats are going to help carry the day for Hispanics for Democrats in Florida.
All right, we've been speaking with Franco Ripple. Franco, out of curiosity, what's the temperature there today?
Temperature this morning was nice, about 64 degrees. It's warming up as I stand here right now. I will tell you that it was raining in Pinellas County earlier this morning. That obviously dampened some turnout, I think, a little bit. We still saw long lines at a lot of precincts, but the weather right now is probably about 72 degrees. It's slightly sunny, so we're looking forward to a good rest of the day with good weather.
All right, 19 degrees here in the morning when I woke up and went to vote. Franco Ripple, Vice President of Communications for the Florida Young Democrats. Franco, thanks as always. We'll keep an eye on Florida all night, of course.
All right, David, thanks.